Hello everybody and welcome back to Keep It Real, episode number 65. 65. It's funny, we were kind of joking in the live chat for the last Snowy vs Roosy episode actually for the Abandoned Farm Challenge, and yeah, 65 episodes, still don't really have much money, but that's all part of the fun. So what's changed in the meantime? You will notice we skipped forward a tiny little bit more. We're now in September. This has moved because off camera I've filled pretty much everything up. Everything that needs water, that thing's been busy. So I'm heading down this direction just before we kind of kick the day off. It's going to be a busy episode really, but yes, if my calculations were correct, we should have had a new calf, and there it is. Amazing. So that's now, well, 6 fully grown milk producers plus one little calf, which is well on its way to producing us some more milk. And I'll tell you what, I haven't checked milk for a while. What are we looking at? 2,419 litres. Pretty good. While I'm in the zone, let's just have a look at the cost of milk, because it might be worth selling. We're not desperate for the money this episode, but why not? I mean, it isn't bad. It's not far off now, is it really? So we could potentially sell that to the dairy this episode, maybe the next episode. Either way, in September, it's probably worth doing. Now, while I'm here, and it's got a bit of a funky trigger point on this one. There we go. They do need a bit of straw. Even though the straw's here, it's not automatically topping itself up. But it's definitely easier to do now, isn't it, with it being so close? It's probably taken, there you go. It's took a little bit of that bale, but not all of it. Try and tidy up as we're going. Or tidy up as we're going. I've just made it worse. Fantastic. Right, I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop right now. So cool, we got a new calf. Happy with that. We've also got plenty of manure. It has reduced a little bit. Whilst topping up all the water, it was very important I topped up the olive tree with manure. The last thing I wanted was for that thing to stop producing, because that's worth so much money for us, so much. Now you might notice we are missing a piece of equipment. The agri, along with the cultivator, and the monetary figure in the top corner is slowly reducing. So Thierry's already on it. He started work nice and early today. He's down at the very, very bottom plot. Not the one with the vineyards and the olive tree, but the one next to it. He's doing the cultivation for us already, which is good. Just to kind of work, we really need to utilise these labourers, these farm hands now. So 660 pieces of eggs, great. I mean, all of this stuff's coming together now, isn't it? All this passive income is fantastic. I brought this pallet back from the shop. We bought it during an episode, just so that you can genuinely know that I did actually buy it. I've just brought it back here. And, I mean, can the ducks get... Yeah, we'll top them up again. Yeah, the last thing I wanted again was for this to stop producing as well. I'll tell you what, the eggs have not been that profitable for us, to be honest with you. Unlike the Abandoned Farm Challenge, which is kind of what I've renamed it, really. It's the multiplayer challenge with a twist is what the actual episode was initially called, or the series. But, yeah, that, I'm hoping the chickens produce eggs much, much faster than they seem to on this. I've also spilt a load of food in there. I better remember that. Okay, right. We are going straight to the shop. And we're going to lease a potato harvester, because I'm pretty certain that those potatoes are ready to harvest. I think they are. I haven't actually checked. We'll find out for definite. Either way, we need to lease a harvester. I think there was one actually in the used shop, wasn't there? In the last episode, I want to say. But I don't want to buy it. Potentially, this will be the last time we even do the potatoes. So I need to unload the front loader tool. What do you mean I need to unload it? Okay. What is going on here? Maybe it needs me to do that. Now will it work? Unfold. Unfold? Oh, of course. This is one where... Yeah. Trying to be overly realistic there. Look, if you don't put the little stands down. Oh, come on. If you don't put the stands down, it won't allow you to There we go. Cool. Right. it just seems silly taking all that extra weight with us when we don't actually need the front loader for what we are doing today. And this thing is lacking on power anyway, so every little helps in this case. So yeah, look, we'll drive to the shop. We will lease a potato harvester and we'll get straight down there and we'll start doing that. I actually left the trailer kind of in situ already, and yeah, when you come down there with me this time, you'll see just how well the mill production's working. In actual fact, it's already gone through all of the flour, or all of the grain I should. Oh, come on. You're driving a bus? Yeah, all of the grain is gone, so all of that wheat, all of that oats that we put in there is gone. It's already converted it into flour. That mod, that windmill, does not hang around. So all it's doing primarily now is producing us olive oil. And again, I've overfilled that production, so that will just continue now. Continue right through till, I want to say it was January we initially said is the best price for them. So yeah, and again, that's why I'm trying to speed up the final part of the series. I mean, what is it today? Today is the 16th, maybe the 17th of September. We've only got 6 weeks maybe until the new game. So I forgot about that. I need to bring that back. I say that every time. Yeah, really, with my consistency, I mean, hopefully once the youngest has healed from chickenpox, I can do a little bit more. But we're only doing 1 episode per week, really, whilst the kids have been home. 6 weeks is only 6 episodes. Yeah, we wouldn't meet the end. We wouldn't meet the end game. We wouldn't meet that target. So we've got to do something different. Right, we are nearly here. I tell you what, going from the crossplay only series with Snowy, which, you know, I've had to put quite a bit of time into, just for things like the plowing with a 2.3 meter plow or whatever I'm using is pretty horrendous. So yeah, I've gotten so used to it though. I forget coming back to this series. I've got the centre of gravity mod on, and it was pretty bad. The last episode, I think I nearly rolled the agri over a few times, and I almost felt like I was doing it then with the Ford. Now, while we're here, most of this, I think, was already here before. So we have got one of those. It's not obviously not that one. It doesn't show one, but we have got one of those, so we don't need that. Don't really need... I mean, the silage compactor is great, but we've already compacted half of it. That's another thing in the background as well. I imagine the grass is also ready to go. But that, now that we've got the bigger mower, that should be a pretty big job actually. So not too worried about that. Now, potato technology is of course trailed, so it's in here. That's the thing. Absolutely. Don't think we need to customize it, do we? So what can we do? Lease it. £433. You know, I'm happy with that. That's pretty good. We obviously need to deduct that cost out of whatever those potatoes make us. Hopefully they make us more than £433. I think they will. I seem to remember potatoes being pretty good when we did that kind of pathetic little field. Our very first thing that we did actually on the most sloped piece of ground, which we still own. Yeah, that was an interesting experience. Right at the beginning of the series, the early days. This should be nice and flat, and of course the big advantage is we have a tractor with narrow tyres, so it wouldn't do any of that kind of potential crop destruction. We're kind of believing that it wasn't actually costing us anything anyway, but certainly when I was doing it with the man, it was crushing the potatoes, so potentially it might have lost us a little bit. I don't know. What I could say is this Ford has also got more power than the man, and the man did a great job on a hillside doing those potatoes. So this should whiz through it. This should be pretty good. We'll head down. I'll cut this bit out. You've seen it numerous times, and we can also have a little visual on how Terry's French cousin is getting on cultivating that field. Doesn't look like... Oh no, yep, we are still paying him, so he's not finished yet. Right, I'll catch you in a sec. Okay, here we are. He's getting on. Okay. He's missed a couple of little bits, but it's not a problem, is it? Actually, he's done a pretty good job in comparison to most of the AI. So, good. It's costing us a fortune, though. It's the second time I've seen wage payment come up. So, it's probably cost us about £200-300 so far to do that field. When you're playing on an economy that doesn't earn you quite so much money, that is quite expensive, isn't it? Now, let's start to unfold this. Not a lot seemed to change them, but something happened. How do we do this? I'll tell you what, let's go around the outside. Just lower it, turn it on, there we go. And we'll see. Firstly, yeah, I've purposely driven over crops there and it didn't disappear, so that's a good start. Passed the first test. So we'll see how much we get. I mean, it's difficult to even guess, isn't it? Because this is such an unusual harvester. I really don't do potatoes that often. So I have no idea what we're going to get. We've got nearly 200 litres there and we've only picked up a few little bits because of my dodgy driving. So actually, potentially, we might get quite a lot of potatoes here. Quite a lot. What's our capacity on the trailer? Can't remember. Well, hopefully, from a commuting point of view, we get one load. But from a money point of view, we get more than one load. That would be nice, wouldn't it? Right. There's no traffic. I don't know if driving on a road whilst doing harvesting is kind of legally allowed, but we haven't got a choice. I do hope, again, I've mentioned it, I really hope that AI in FS25, and we'll have to wait and see. I don't think that is a... No, that doesn't have a collision. Yeah, we'll have to wait and see, but I just hope that AI is smart enough. Like now, it's actually on the other side of the road. I forget this is a French map. If there was this little yellow thing, why can't he just kind of keep going or pull over a tiny little bit? Yeah, I'm hoping that is something. I hope they're smarter. They're even smarter than that in Android versions. So, yeah, I hope they've come up with something that's a bit better this time around. Right, so now that we know there's no crop destruction, I'm just going to go through it. I'll try and do it realistically and keep to the rows. I was hoping, it doesn't look like it in the clips actually that I've seen, but I was hoping that the ground would be, obviously there's a little bit of deformation, which is cool, I like that. I do like that. But I wish it was more, what's the word? Not dynamic in the sense that deformation, because they've kind of covered that, but in the sense that the way that the plows work, or the way that the potato planting works, actually lines up with how you plant it, rather than it going in a set direction depending on the map. Yeah, I would much have preferred this to be going straight across rather than off at this funny angle. But there we go. This time around, it's going to be much easier to keep an eye on what we have and haven't done. So that's good. That is good. I think this bit calls for a bit of time lapse. I tell you what though, look, we've got 1,400 litres there, maybe just ticking over. There you go, 1,400 litres of potatoes, and I've done a couple of rows. I think we're going to have quite a lot of potatoes here. I think we're going to have quite a lot. Right, I'll catch you in a moment. Okay, done. That took a while. That took quite some time. I may well have time-lapsed it a bit. Maybe I did a bit of both. You might have seen some of that as a time-lapse and then it kind of got through because, well, yeah, you're seeing enough time-lapse on this channel at the minute, especially with that Farm Sim Snowy series. So, yeah, I don't want to bore you. And also, one of the jobs, ideally, that needs to happen today is ploughing the rest of this field and probably getting it planted at the same time because, yeah, September is our last chance to do it. And I want to be in a position where I can kind of skip forward, I guess, really. And probably maybe August, maybe even weekend after this episode, if I do everything I need to do, which again will require probably a bit more cutting than I normally do in terms of recording. That is not grass cutting, although that is something else we need to do. But yeah, if I can get everything done in this episode, then actually I can probably start the next episode, which was, what was it I was saying? It would be episode 66. Wouldn't it, I think? Yeah, the next episode should be. So, if we can do that and we can start that off in December, then we're going to be rolling in a little bit of cash. Yeah, there's plenty of flour in there to sell. Although, again, there's nothing more being produced. It is completely emptied, and we've got nothing left to harvest. Now, on this one here, the actual harvester has removed the foliage. But if you see these plough lines, I can remember this from last time, and my experience of using this, it hasn't actually picked up the potatoes. So we're going over an area which almost looks like it's been done, but you'll see that it is clearly picking up potatoes from the ground. And I just quickly sanity check. Yeah, I haven't missed any other areas, so that's pretty good. Ideal. And I tell you what, there must be 10,000 litres worth of potatoes now, I'm going to go with. We're also cutting it very close. I don't know if you've heard the beep yet, but you'll see the flashing light in the bottom. This Ford is about to run out of fuel, which, yeah, we were fortunate on that one. We were very fortunate. Now, while this is doing its magic, let's see if I can position myself for a nice little cover for... Oh, that looks good, doesn't it? There you go. That would do for a thumbnail. Wonderful. Two birds, one stone, as they say. Right, so what I'm going to do now is, well, let's have a think a minute. I did have, you will notice, we'll go for a little walk actually. I had to come out of the game and restart it again at this point that we're in right now. Well, that's got a bit of a weird blurry texture going on there, isn't it? I've never noticed that before. Yeah, so Thierry, Terry's cousin from France, has been working really hard in the background, just while I was doing all of that harvesting, which did honestly take some time. He has not only cultivated, but he is pretty much, I mean, what? Midway? 2/3 of the way through planting this field as well. With canola, I want to say. Yeah, canola. So it does need some work. Look, I mean, it needs lime, ideally, and it also needs nitrogen. Definitely needs nitrogen, but that's a nice easy task, isn't it? We've got a good fertilizer spreader, and I do believe there is still some fertilizer left. Now, again, because I've reloaded, he's stopped, so we'll just restart him and move out of his way. There he goes, Thierry. He's pretty efficient. He also has a squeaky voice, a bit like Terry as well. Odd. Must be in the genes. And, yeah, we'll even do that. I'm going to return the potato harvester, I think. That's the first thing to do. Take the Ford back to the shop, return that. We could probably grab the fertilizer spreader. You can tell I'm improvising. None of this is planned. Yeah, I think get the fertilizer spreader, come back and give that field a good coating. The other field, I think, isn't quite as bad as that from a nitrogen point of view. But with this precision farming mod, it's always best, really, to plant a crop. There was that beep let. This really needs some fuel. Yeah, it's best to plant the crops, really, and then get a genuine... Oh, it's not blurry anymore. Look, it must have... Weird. Yeah, so we will send Thierry up to the other field, which we cultivated ourselves in the last episode. get him to do the same job. He's doing a good job. Is he going over what he's already seeded though? I have a feeling he's going back over what he's already done. No, he hasn't. Alright, I'll let him off. I tell you what though, I do miss being able to use that agri. We needed a more powerful tractor for the seeder. It is what it is. I've had to loan it to Thierry to do that job, but this Ford isn't particularly great. Now, if we weren't so close to the kind of end of, I'll say end of the series. It's not close to the end of the series. It's still probably 6 or 7 weeks at least, but yeah, if we weren't so close, I don't want to be wasting money where I can help it. So if I can get away with surviving on minimum horsepower with this Ford rather than buying this new engine as well, it just makes sense. And all roads are leading to that. Well, all in all, probably about $500,000 by the time we pay off our loans. We need quite a bit of cash. Anyway, I will catch you back at the shop. Here we are. Here we are. Now, I'll leave it connected. Oh, I'll tell you what though, I better not leave it running. It run out of fuel. Right, trigger I know is kind of here somewhere. Is it? Oh, I don't know. I might actually have to turn. Oh, there you go. Right, so this one here, we will return that. We've worn it down a little bit. It says it had 0.6 hours work on it. I'll tell you what, that felt like a lot longer. Definitely did. Right, let's return that. Wonderful. Now, I'm just going to jump into the menu. So we're going to need to get a plough, I think. Just have a look here a minute. Remind myself, we do not own a plough, do we? I seem to remember... No, we don't. I seem to remember us actually leasing one the last time around. Let's have a little sanity check. See if in all those hours of ploughing anything else has appeared. What's that there? It's 2.5 meters, whatever it is. So not great. Yeah, there's nothing else there of interest really. Definitely not. Let's go into plough. So we've got the fertilizer spreader already. Hopefully it's got fertilizer in it. I think it has. Well, I tell you what, I don't think it has actually, is it? Because I think I put it into the olive tree. On ploughs, so we're going to need to lease a plough, but I've activated this one. Now, I'm not going to use this and keep it real because I don't feel that that would work as efficiently as a plough. It's almost like a bit of a cheat, really. But the reason I've activated it is I just want your opinion. Should I activate this in the series with Snowy, the Abandoned Farm challenge? Because... when we can eventually buy equipment, a plough is going to be something quite big. If I was to continue to make my own fields, doing it with that 2.3 meter plough was just absolutely ridiculous. So yeah, that series isn't about being realistic. That series is about making as much money as quickly as possible. So yeah, let me know what you think. I don't like using this, to be honest with you, but I mean, it's 6 meters wide as a plough. That's just insane, isn't it? That would save so much time. Yeah, we don't want that one to be too boring. Now, which one did I use last time? Because actually it was awful. I've not really got a lot of ploughs activated. And I used one and it was horrible. I mean, it could one have been that one. I'm not sure, you know. Yeah, I'm not sure. I didn't want to use the same one as last time because it was just very different. Maybe it was that one. Do they work the same? 3.5, 2.5. It's a big difference, isn't it? I think that's probably, yeah, we don't have 360. It couldn't have been that one because we don't have 220 horsepower either. Well, I don't have a lot of choice. I think I'm probably just going to have to do it, aren't I? I'm going to have to lease it. Yeah. But then... God, I'm talking out loud here now, aren't I? Right, this is going to take me longer, but I'll be able to use the Ford to do it. And from a lease point of view, it's probably not that different. £714. It's more expensive than the entire potato harvester. That's ridiculous. But I'm going to need to do it. So, yeah. Let's lease that. Should be here somewhere. The stuff that was here, by the way, is still here. It's just the shopper kindly loaded it up on the trailer for us over there. We do need to take that Unimog back at some point. We can't be leaving stuff here for too long. Right, I wonder if I can actually throw it this time. It's funny, sometimes it just doesn't let you throw stuff. Right, here we go. Let's have a bit of a warm up, flex our legs up a bit. Run! Come on, you get one done. Do it! Yes! Yes! Free! Woohoo! Right, anyway, don't know what is wrong with me today. Let's get this plough. I did say I was going to take the fertiliser spreader, and this typically doesn't have a front attachment either, does it? I don't think any of our equipment does actually. It's too old, isn't it? It's too old school. 2,610. Money is still going down. I would say slowly, but it ain't slowly. This, yeah, Terry's cousin Thierry is quite an expensive worker, you know. It's costing me a fortune. But it's saving me a lot of time. Right. Yeah, I tell you what, this plough, although it's much smaller than the one we used last time, this looks a heck of a lot easier to use. So I'm kind of happy with that. This tractor will be borderline for actually being able to pull it, but I'm sure it will. I'm sure it will. And I did my usual trick. Go straight past the fuel pump. I need to put some fuel in this. Yeah. In fact, I'm surprised it hasn't even run out yet at all, to be honest with you. Okay. Right, we've connected it up. We'll leave that fill, I think. Don't know how much this is going to cost, but it's fine. Yeah, wonderful. Right. Episode's going good so far. I have no idea again how long it's going to be. You either time-lapsed or seen that as a time-lapse, though, potato harvesting, or if the episode was seeming a bit too long, I would have just cut a chunk of it out. But anyway, for this part here and now, I'll do the same. I will catch you back at the vineyard plot. See you in a bit. Okay, here we are. So, I need to activate field plowing, which I think I've just done. Yep, there we go. That was the giveaway. This is going to be a pretty big plot, you know, because this whole track is going. I don't know where the end of my plot actually is. I'm not sure, but I'll leave a nice gap there in the middle. And yeah, I think I'm going to hit a fair few tree stumps because they are around here somewhere. And I mean, did I get rid of them? I seem to think they are still here somewhere. Although so far so good. I'm amazed we got this far without hitting any. Yeah, they are still there. Look. They are definitely still there. Now, yeah, I don't know how far my plot alarm goes, you know. Just turn the engine off. Oh no. Obviously, because I come out of the game, it must have reset the seeder and really? What about? So Thierry, sorry, is up here working that you can see. If I move away and go back, he's not working very efficiently though. He's just kind of stopped at the end of the field. But he's actually planting canola there. So how did that happen down here? How did that happen? Oh dear. I can't believe I did that. I'll find a way around that, I am sure. Anyway, right, let's go on to here. Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty much at the end of the field here, aren't I? So let's take a nice curve around. And then do the same back down the other side. Yeah, I need to go a bit closer than that though. Good. Right, and then not too close to the path. What I want to avoid is the crop destruction, of course. So we'll do that kind of there. And then across there, like that. Back into this field. Cool. That kind of works. That kind of works. Oh, there's some tree stumps there I missed as well. I still don't think there's any kind of decent... I'm trying to think of the word. The bits of machine that remove tree stumps. What are they called? Stump grinders, that's the one. Yeah, I still don't think there's any. I mean, obviously there's loads of decent ones, but I don't think there's any that suit our kind of price range to buy. So maybe I might just have to do the same thing again, where we count up how many there are and then charge ourselves 50 quid a stump and simulate we've paid someone just to come and remove them. Because, yeah, I mean, I was lucky that first time round, but I can't imagine I'll get away with it this time. I'm sure. Look, I'm going to come across a few stumps here somewhere. It's going to cause me a bit of an issue. I'll tell you what though, honestly, even I underestimated just how much difference this piece of land would make. This is probably, I mean, maybe not because of the field over there, but this is going to be one of our biggest plots of land now. And this is going to be, again, fully planted with canola. We're going all out on canola, just so we can push that production and somehow try and make this money that we need to make, which is definitely going to be a challenge to get that close, but we'll give it a go. Right, I'm not going to time-lapse this. I mean, you get the gist of it, don't you? How long this is going to take me. Actually, I do really like this plough as well. Oh dear, I mean, this is what I was hoping I wouldn't get. Right, went a little bit too far. What don't I have access to? Okay, I must have gone too far into the corner that time, maybe. But that's fine. I'm just going to try and remember not to plant anything. Right, good. I've evened that off now. Yeah, you get a good gist of this, don't you? You've seen enough ploughing backwards and forwards. This is a pretty repetitive thing to do. While I'm here, I don't know, do I just plough over that section there as well? I don't know. Either way, I'll tell you what though, actually, this plough is going over tree stumps and I'm not even feeling them. Yeah, look, I went over one there, I didn't even notice it. Did not even notice. Right, I'm gonna pause. Oh, before I pause, what was that great demand in the restaurant? Let's keep an eye out, start at the top. And let's try and keep an eye out for something blue. That could be nice. Fingers crossed. Maybe not. If it says something like flower, that would be amazing. But we've already gone past flower. Typical. What about... Oh, it was that. Tomatoes. Okay. I mean, we have actually got loads of tomatoes. But, yeah. We've got to probably make the final use of that kind of interactive production, which was cool. The idea was cool on that. I don't think it's overly worthwhile, to be honest with you. Yeah, it is a great mod, but it's not really making that much profit, really. I know we're paying a small percentage back to the kind of digital, fictional business owner, but right. Anyway, I'm going to cut this now. I will catch you in a bit. Okay, I figured while the plough was connected, I'll just quickly go over this with the plough. I get carried away because of course I'm kind of thinking I'll just plant straight over this, but that cedar will not plant over this. I've got to cultivate it or plough it at the very least, no matter what, haven't I? But look at this, and this plough is really good, by the way. The tractor is maybe not so great. It's not amazing at pulling it, but it did not collide with any of those stumps at all. Just went straight over it. So if you want a plough that's easy to use, yeah, this one's pretty good. And it's relatively wide, you know. It's relatively wide. I prefer this much more than that one that we used last time, which was bigger. But actually, that probably took me more time to do, you know. This isn't too bad at all. I like it. Now, Thierry's still cracking on with the other field. He is planting the correct crop, fortunately. I'll have to think of something to do with that other field, because obviously I can amend that. I can change that to canola. Is it my fault that a game restart has changed the seed type and I didn't realise? It's my fault for not checking, but actually, yeah, I'm putting that down to the game just resetting it when it didn't necessarily need to. So I will correct that. I will change that entire field to canola, just like was initially planned. I think that's fine. Now, we're going to take this plough back in a minute, and I'm going to do the one thing which I've said so many times, but I've not done. And and that is utilise the Unimog a lot more. It can get back down here much faster, and it's going to do some fertilising. Not just fertilising, it's also going to lime. So it's going to lime all of our fields and then fertilise all our fields. And the reason why it's a perfect tool, not only has it got hundreds of horsepower, but actually I can keep bags of lime and bags of fertiliser on the back of it, so I can kind of easily interchange between the two. So it just makes sense, doesn't it? And to be honest, this Ford could do with a bit of a rest. And I imagine that the Agri probably needs some fuel as well by now. Obviously everything's set to high. The rate that it goes through fuel on this particular save is a lot. Yeah, it does go through fuel a lot, especially now that we're getting into these bigger jobs. So I'm just going to finish this again. I didn't need to plough it. If anything, ploughing actually affects the score, the field score, in a bad way. So plowing's not necessarily the best thing to do. I don't think though this Ford can tow that cultivator. I'm actually surprised it's even towing this plough, let alone doing such a good job. Not perfect, but it's trying. It's trying. At least it's not broken down like most other Fords. Anyway, right, let's finish this bit. We'll yeah, what will we do? I'll do this bit off camera. Again, I don't want this episode to be too long, but we've got to get so much done in one episode. Probably the most we've done in one single episode for the entire 65 episodes. But this farmer, he needs a little break. He needs to take a couple of weeks off, doesn't he? So we've got to get ahead of ourselves, really. Anyway, I'm going to cut it now. I will catch you again when we get back to the shop. Take this plough back and jump into the Unimog. Let's actually get it working like a workhorse. Right, that's done as well, isn't it? What a nice looking field. Okay, right, let's get this plough returned. So return, that's done a good job, that. Did a good job. Good. Cool. And then we'll pull the Ford up out of the way. Maybe we just dump the Ford over there. Yeah. And what we'll do is, I mean, we haven't got a lot. We've got 1,999. Let's turn that, turn the engine off after I paid so much for fuel. Yeah, we haven't got a lot of money. In actual fact, it's not enough money to buy a big bag of fertiliser. However, we can buy a load of small bags, can't we? Now, I normally go into the shop, but hey, we're here now. We're busy today, so the shop will have to come out to us, won't they? What is it under? It's under big bags. What's going on? What just happened there? My Xbox control just had a bit of a fit, I think. Then right, let's go. Let's try again. Can I get a pallet of fertiliser relatively well priced? What have we got here? I don't fertilizer. Okay, wow. Yeah, that's too cheap. That is too cheap, and it's the lime as well, isn't it? And they tend to go through quite a lot of lime. What do we reckon for lime? What do we think? Genuinely, we got quite a lot of fields now. I'm thinking we need 4 bags of lime. Yeah, I'm going to do that first of all. 1,400. Okay. Well, it is what it is. I don't want to get all the way down there and realise I didn't have enough. That would be annoying. So now £558. Oh dear. But we have got to pay Thierry his last bit of the wage as well, so I don't want to go too crazy. So let's buy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bags, 600 litres. Don't know. I don't know if that's enough. I also don't know where they went. Oh, they're there. God, I panicked then. I thought it did another moment where they disappeared into the ground. Right, we'll off screen. We'll get the shop to load it up for us again. They're still not trusting us with their forklift. Yeah, they keep hiding it away every time we come here. I don't know. Lovely, and they've even given us a little bit of room to chuck the bags on next to it as well. That's very helpful of them, isn't it? Hopefully these bags actually strap, otherwise they're going to end up all over the road. Right, so load them up as neatly as we can. We'll head back to the main yard. I believe that's where I've left the fertiliser spreader. I hope so, anyway. And we'll drop that trailer off there. That, I think, in that IBC is liquid fertiliser, which we're actually going to need because I'm pretty sure, other than the one that I've just ploughed, I'm pretty sure the other two will probably have a decent amount of weeds growing. Yeah. And do we have a weeder? I'm not sure that we do have a weeder. Maybe we do have a very small one, but we have got a sprayer, haven't we? Right, let's just reattach them. Hopefully, I really hope it's locked those bags in place. Right. Okay. We'll get this animal started up, ready for its job. It's looking like it's struggling with the weight of that trailer. There's not much on the trailer, but look at the angle of it. I don't know. Now, I slowed the time down, by the way, when I'm trying to get so much done in an episode rather than dividing a month over 3 episodes. I thought I'd slow the day down just a tiny bit so I can get on with stuff. Now, I am hopeful. Again, I don't really know how long this episode is currently, how long it's going to be, because there's quite a lot of time lapse in it. So, yeah, I would like to get it all done in this episode. Maybe I'm pushing my luck. I used to use the time of the day when it started getting evening like this. This was my kind of cue that the episode is probably about long enough. Now, because I slowed the time down, I've kind of lost my bearings a little bit. Yeah, and I've cut a lot. So, well, let's keep going anyway. This again, it might be a long episode. It seems to be something that maybe you're getting used to. I've gotten used to doing. They're getting longer and longer at the minute. I think I'm almost making. Oh dear! Come on, Unimog, you can do it. You can do it. This needs a service. Starting to smoke a little bit. Okay, this is the tricky bit, trying to manoeuvre that trailer into the shed. But I did it pretty good last time, albeit from the other angle, so hopefully it won't be too bad. I might take out the bush on the way through though. Right, come on, slow down a bit. Oh gosh, I don't want to end up in the ditch. That was, oh dear. Okay, yeah, that's not what I wanted to happen. Does the Unimog have power? Yes. What a machine. Right, yeah. That was, I haven't cut that bit, and I just did the same thing again. Oh, I've got a better angle this time. There we go. That was kind of what I didn't want to happen. However, yeah, clearly, me not using the Unimog for this long, it's just a silly thing, isn't it? Because the thing's just got so much grip, so much power. Again, it's probably our most effective piece of machine. Oh, wrong shed. Piece of machinery that we got on the farm. Right, this is what we need. Hopefully the Unimog gets in that shed. I'm guessing it does. I don't know. Now, the money in the top corner hasn't gone down for a while either, so I'm assuming that Thierry's finished and gone home. He's not the most efficient worker in the world, so I bet he's missed loads. But we'll have to check in a minute when we're passing by. At least we're not paying him to sit around. No. Is this gonna... Oh, do you know what? I'll block my view. Okay. Go back to this view. Oh, the brakes on this thing are awful. Connect that. Might as well connect that ready. Does it have hoses? It does not. What's actually in it? Oh, it has got a bit of fertiliser in it actually. Wow, 417 litres. Oh, it's good to know. We've also got some seed in here too. We may need that. We might need that. Right. This should be good, and this should be a relatively quick job, you know. I hope. So although it's getting dark in the evening, we're just going to be working late tonight. It's just the way it's got to be, isn't it? Sometimes when you're living in real life, you don't always finish at 5 o'clock. Right, see you in a bit. Okay, here we are at the field, but it's just gotten too dark to work. Yeah, it's quite realistic, I suppose, in the way. I guess it's realistic. I mean, it's 7:20 in September, and the moon's there already. I don't know, but it is too dark, and this normally is my cue anyway to kind of move on, get ready for the next episode. So I hope you like this one. Again, you know what my memory's like. I'm sure this was 65. In episode 66, we're going to go around, we're going to use this beast properly as a workhorse for the first time. Lime every field, fertilise every field. And yeah, maybe actually during the next episode, something that you don't see and something I don't like to do, but we'll skip forward during the episode right the way through to December, I reckon. But I must remember to roll. Last time I left it too long and I missed my opportunity. I must remember to do the rolling next episode. Yeah. Anyway, thank you for watching. Until that next episode, cheers and gone.